Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Vicki Howie of ChakraBoosters.com, the creator of Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos. And welcome to this third video in our series on the signs of overactive chakras. Now, since I'm wearing bright yellow and it's video number 3, you've probably guessed that we're going to look at the signs of an overactive solar plexus chakra. And since the solar plexus chakra is about speed and efficiency, I'm going to try to go through these a little quicker than I have in the past. I'm going to give it some solar plexus energy if I can. And we're going to look at 12 signs that your solar plexus is overactive. First, a couple caveats. 1, when a chakra is overactive, I want you to remember that it's really important that you boost the neighboring chakras. I don't want you holding back your energy. Please realize that when we come into this world, we have beautiful open energy. And as we're socialized and we're taught to not be this or don't do that, we close down and block parts of ourselves, actually plural. And because of that, we diminish our light, we diminish our energy, our vitality. So I really don't want that to be part of your process here. We are expanding in energy right now. The planet herself is expanding. You can feel it. We're getting enlightenment, energy moving up and expanding just by being right now. So I want you to, or I should say what I don't want you to do, is I don't want you to be trying to suppress parts of yourself. So if you see yourself in this list, and this is the one that everyone thinks is the biggest bugaboo and does not want to be overactive in, right? It's great to be overactive in your heart, which is a social chakra and a peaceful chakra, but not good, very bad in people's minds to be overactive in an antisocial or a chakra that's self-oriented, and that's what the solar plexus chakra is about. So first of all, please try not to judge on this one, and don't go at it like, oh, I have to correct that or fix that so much as I need to boost my sacral and my heart energy. My sacral, my heart, the divine feminine, the sacral, the easygoing, flexible, mutable, relationship-oriented energy for intimacy and just joy. And then the heart, which is the connective energy of family, friends, just being human, being with other people, being compassionate. And start with yourself with the compassion on all of the videos that I do. I almost hesitate these days to want to give you these signs, even though they help you. They are posts, little breadcrumbs along the way in your path. I don't want you to use them to make yourself wrong. That would hurt my heart. Okay, you're amazing, you're perfect. What we're doing here is we're taking our spiritual perfection and we're learning to express it, open up doors within ourselves, open up parts of ourselves so that we can express it more and more. So this is about boosting. Even if you are overactive, you're gonna not boost the solar plexus for sure, but you will boost your sacral chakra and your heart chakra. Okay, got that? What is the solar plexus? It is the chakra that's in your solar plexus. Big surprise. It's your second masculine chakra. The root is the first. The sacral is then feminine. And then the third is masculine again. It's the warrior energy that wants to get things done. It's focused. It's fire is its element. So it's fiery. It's direct. It's judgmental, opinionated. Because it's connected to what's right and what's wrong. It's connected to that analytical mind. People don't realize that. We actually have brain cells in the gut. We found them in the gut because this is the conscious mind that says, I like that, I don't like that. And it gets things done. It's very decisive. Can you feel how that decisive mental energy goes with also taking action and getting things done? So that's the solar plexus. It's very masculine, very courageous, very action-oriented, very motivated. And when it's really healthy, everything I just said is happening. You have all those positive assets at your disposal. But when it gets blown out, and more importantly, when the sacral or the heart get suppressed in some way. We're really hurt and we suppress the heart energy from a very young age, or we are told we're not creative, or we believe we aren't feminine at all, or feminine is bad, so we close down the sacral. If you close down the sacral or the heart, there's a good chance that this solar plexus energy that could be positive is going to come out and manifest in negative ways. Let's look at the 12 signs that you might have an overactive solar plexus chakra. And I'm going to go through them fairly quickly because I think they're pretty self-evident. The first one is being controlling or bossy. So if you know that in any kind of situation, even with just one other person, if there's just two of you, you will take charge and you will tell them what to do. And you have a tendency to just want to be the one holding the control in a situation. That's sign number one. And particularly if it gets kind of bossy, where you actually take charge and start telling the other what to do. The second one is you need to be recognized. In its extreme sense, it's a need to have fame or be famous. So if there's just this need that I've got to be somebody to everybody else, that's typically a sign of overactive solar plexus chakra. Number 3, you have strong likes and dislikes, which means you have strong preferences. You're not wishy-washy. You know what you want, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, and you don't move around with it a lot. You're pretty much, I like that, I don't like that. Can you feel that? I just did my little sprinkler there, my sprinkler sound. Okay, that's number 3, strong preferences, likes and dislikes. Number 4 is that you like to do things for status reasons, okay? Now think into this one, feel into this one. Sometimes we have to go deeper into our motivations. If we take a job, for instance, because it's going to offer us higher status, higher power, the Joneses are going to like that we have this job, but in truth, we would be happier if we didn't take this job. Like if you're taking a management position, you have a semi-creative job and they want you to do a management position, you'd be happier to stay with the just doing your job, but they want you to manage, and they're going to give you, if they're going to give you a raise, it might be involved with root chakra. But if you're doing it for the status, that's solar plexus, overactive solar plexus. I want more status. I want to look good. So if decisions in your life are being made because it makes you look better to others or gives you higher status, that is number 4. Okay. Number 5, you have a need to be right and or to prove yourself. So long after an argument's finished, you might be still trying to prove to the other person that you're right. And another way to look at this is the inability to say I'm wrong. So if you find it really, really hard to say, oops, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I'm wrong, oops. You might have a lot of these other things, but if you can really easily say to someone, my bad, I made a mistake, and you're right. If you can say those statements, then this one won't apply to you. Okay, but if you're one of those people that just, you argue, and you always think you are right, even the idea that you think you're right means you're not really able to take too many other perspectives. Number 6 is that you dominate social situations. This is related to number 1, but number 1 can be more intimate, like in your intimate relationships. I'm talking about in your any social group, you will rise to the one who's the alpha. You are the alpha. So that's pretty much social situations, you're the alpha. In a pack of lions, you'd be the alpha lion, okay? Number 7, because the solar plexus chakra is all about do, and go, go, go. If it's overactive, you have a tendency not to be able to stay still. It's really, really hard. Or to relax. Relax is like a 4-letter word instead of a 5-letter word. It's just really hard for you to do. It might seem like a good idea, but when truth be told, it's really difficult for you to stay still. Meditation would be particularly difficult here. Vacations, it would take a long time for you to warm up into them, and taking days off or whatever, taking a nap. You're not good at taking a nap. So that's number 7. Number 8 is that you can't take others' point of view very well, because the solar plexus chakra is the home of the ego, and it comes from our own unique perspective. It has trouble when it gets overactive. It has trouble seeing others' perspective. So if you know that you're really good at, oh yeah, I can imagine there, and you have a tendency also to imagine other people's, like you're in even a disagreement and you will imagine the other person's point of view, then that doesn't apply to you here. But if you're someone who literally walks around saying, I don't get why they don't understand, like if you feel like you're constantly misunderstood and they don't understand and they can't see it the way you see it, then you're probably, that's a little telltale sign that you're really not trying to see it other people's way, and you're just upset that they don't see it your way, which means you're probably just seeing it your way most of the time. I'm trying to give you little ways to sneak up on these because we have a real aversion to solar plexus chakra in our culture. Religion has made ego and solar plexus wrong. Even though we need our conscious ego and we need it to be balanced and healthy, they've just made the whole idea like, let's throw out ego. And we can't live without ego, actually. But because they've done that, we tend to really put it down and feel negative about it. Number 9 is a selfish, me-first attitude that's out of proportion, okay? You do need to take care of yourself. If you are taking care of yourself first, so that you can then be servicing others, serving others, loving others, sharing with others, and you know that's why you're doing it, and you do both, that doesn't apply to this situation. But if you're constantly wanting to create a win, if you're really honest, a win-lose, you're not looking out for the other person, you're all about, you tend to be hypocritical in a relationship, like this applies to me but not you. If that's going on, if there's just a real selfishness that isn't a healthy self-care, then that is a sign of overactive solar plexus. Also, number 10 is overconfidence. Now, this is one of the more positive ones I have on the list, but overconfidence can get to a point of foolhardiness, which means we have no experience in something. We just have this like, other people look at it and just know there's absolutely no base in why we're confident about something. So yeah, is this a positive quality? In general, it serves you well. We have people in the public eye who have been served very well in their own agenda of this, in their own agenda. By being overly confident, they're able to really get more of the limelight. They sometimes compare themselves to deities and won't admit they make mistakes. These people got there with this attitude. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. And most people watching this, if you're watching this right now, likely you don't fit in this category and likely you need more confidence. In the spiritual realm, there's a tendency for us to be we deface ourselves. We are self-deprecating. So you probably need more, and this probably doesn't apply to you, but I do want you to imagine there can be a situation. Do you have foolhardy overconfidence? If you do, that's a real sign of having an overactive solar plexus. Now, let's look for 11 and 12. Let's look at 2 physical things. The first one, I forgot to mention earlier that the solar plexus chakra relates to your digestion and your filtering organs, like everything in the center of your body. If something goes into your body, even thoughts, right? But I'm talking food right now. If nourishment goes into your body, or even things that you take that isn't much nourishment, if they go into your body, then you have organs and that digest, break down, metabolize, and digest, and you also have filtering organs that take out the toxins and get rid of things that your body can't use, right? So those organs will be key here. But first, I just want to say the stomach uses acid to digest and that. So if you have problems with any kind of overactive stomach acid, or you have ulcers, like you have problems, there's some reflux where things come up, that can be too much, although reflux can also be a rejection of solar plexus energy. So I'm not going to say that one for sure, okay? I actually think more often it's a rejection. So don't use that one. What I really want you to think about is when you have a lot of stomach issues, acidic issues, and most importantly, ulcers. Ulcers are like too much of that energy. Can you feel that? It's like literally burning a hole in you. And then finally, number 12, I mentioned all the organs, so let's talk about, we got kidney, stomach, spleen, pancreas, and liver. Okay, so these are the organs, the main organs that are related to the solar plexus. Any of those organs, if they have cancer, remember, is probably going to be on every one of these lists. Cancer is a proliferation of the cells. It's a proliferation of the energy. It's too much energy in that area. So that's number 12. I think I went through the longest list a little quicker than most lists, or at least this video quicker than most videos. Remember, what do you do if you have an overactive chakra? If you haven't seen my video on the chakra weaknesses, watch those, because knowing both the weaknesses and the overactive, knowing what the signs are when you're weak and knowing what the signs are when you're overactive, that's very, very helpful. It kind of shows you the sweet spot. So I have a playlist for the other chakras that I would like you to watch that are the overactive signs. I have a playlist for the signs that a chakra is weak, and you should look at least at the chakras that you're looking at overactive, look at the weakness. I have a video I'd like you to watch that is the truth about balancing overactive chakras or healing overactive chakras. I want you to watch that one. I shot it in Paris, so it's in a nice location, and it will help you to understand what I mean about I don't want you holding back your energy. I don't want you making yourself wrong or closing down. As we get older, we need to reopen more of our energy. We need to give our inner self, our energy self, permission, the child within, whatever name you want to use, more permission to be bigger, to be bolder. So the first suggestion that I'm going to give you here for working with the overactive, well, I'm going to give one warning too. Do not watch my playlist for healing the solar plexus chakra, because most people, very true for solar plexus, most people have a weak solar plexus, and my chakra tattoos, as well as, well, my chakra tattoos can also reduce, but they're mostly for boosting. But my videos are really for boosting. Like, I'm almost always doing boosting exercises, boosting music, boosting techniques. So don't use my healing playlist for the solar plexus. Use it for the sacral and for the heart if you were overactive. If you had like several, like say 7 of the things on this list, go boost your sacral and your heart, your divine feminine and your mother feminine, okay, your unconditional love. Other little things you can do, as long as you do it from a loving place, you're not rejecting, you're not judging yourself for being overactive solar plexus. You can directly just take one thing from the list that I said here, one thing, and work on it on one full day or 3 days, if you can do it for 3 days. So for instance, need to be right. For 3 days, I'm going to practice saying, this is what I think about it, but I'm not sure. And then when someone says something, if they prove to be right, you're going to be open to it, and you're going to say, oh, you're right. You're actually going to practice saying, you're right, my mistake, I'm sorry. You literally practice that. Another one would be sitting, meditating, breathing, staying still. If you can't handle meditating, start by just laying down in the bed, take like an awake nap, and see if you can relax little by little every muscle in your body in stillness. The stillness is key, because the fire chakra wants to move and take action, and the minute you lay down, the to-do lists and the goals are going to go through your mind, and you want to untrain that. You want to let go of some of that. Got it? Another example would be to notice, just demand that you notice, maybe journal at the end of the day. What do I do for status? How do I try to control situations? What do I do to be recognized? And status and recognition are similar, but they're not exactly the same thing. Okay, so try to feel into how those are subtly different. Status actually means you need to be higher. People may or may not notice your status, but you're just going for, I've got the better car, the better job, my haircut's better. Obviously, I'm not too concerned with that. That sort of stuff, okay? And, maybe going through a whole day of just putting others first and seeing how that works with your system. Does it frustrate you? Like, literally say, I'm going to do 10 things for other people, 5 of them for strangers today. That'll take the focus off of you. Okay, so I hit a whole bunch of the things I mentioned, and so you see, you can basically take one of those things and playfully work on it, as long as you don't make yourself wrong or bad for having an overactive solar plexus chakra. Because you know what? Your subconscious self doesn't want to do anything for you. It doesn't want to go along with the program if you come from that place. So we do have bodies that have habits. And even though our energy field is perfection, we come from perfection, we return to perfection. In this world, we have habits that don't allow us to live in all of our energy field, which is our full potential, our full perfection. I hate the word perfection. I'm going to pull that one out. We're going to pull that out because we use it wrong in the Western world. It really means fullness. In Sanskrit, they say purna for the fullness of the moon or the ripeness of a fruit. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about here. I think that's enough, guys. I've been doing this with solar plexus energy. Can you feel it? I've been giving you solar plexus energy. So if you're overactive, like, turn this off. But most of you watching this probably won't be overactive. Go ahead and comment if you will. I would love to hear from you on any of this. And if any of it was confusing, feel free to ask a question. If you're watching this on my blog, please ask your questions on the YouTube channel. I pay the most attention to that. And that's because when I answer questions there, lots of people benefit. I don't get as much viewership on the blog, so please ask your questions on my YouTube channel and help others as well as yourself. So thank you for watching this video, thank you for watching this series, and thank you for being an advocate of chakras on this planet. I believe that our spiritual anatomy, chakras, are the way of the future. We should know them better than we know our biology, our physical anatomy. We should know where they are, what they mean, what they relate to, and be able to just work with them because they represent the seed of anything in our lives. Anything in your life begins in your energy field, in your chakras. And if you want to learn about your life cycles, the literal energetic cycles that shape your whole life, you can now get my book, my new book, Roadmap to Life Mastery. Discover the 7-year cycles that shape your life. But as of right now, as of this filming, only in my store, chakraboosters.com/store. Okay, so go get in on that because it's amazing to see and to know about other people in your life and where they are, not just you, and see how it's dovetailing, who's in what kind of cycles. So thanks again for joining me for this video and for this series. Next, we'll be doing the heart chakra. Yes, it is going to be a list of things that people tend to enjoy more, and since the heart is so neutral, it's going to probably be the hardest chakra to give you signs for overactivity. Okay, and even if you are, it's so lovable. So I don't know if you're going to want to change it, but if it is causing problems, you know what you'll do. You'll boost your neighboring chakras. And for the heart, that'll be the throat chakra and the solar plexus. That's it for this week. I'm sending you so much love and a lot of can-do solar plexus energy. Have a beautiful week. Blessings.